Hey everybody, welcome. I hope that you're having a nice Sunday or late, early Sunday, late Saturday, late Sunday, middle of the night. I don't know. I don't know wherever you are. I hope you're doing well. Um, it's not like I'm broadcasting live and I'm talking to you at that time, but you know, if you're watching this 3 weeks from now, I hope that you're doing well. I still hope that you're doing well. Anyway, let me make that awkward. Okay. Hi. uh, I thought I would, obviously I thought I would do a video. I don't know why I need to say I thought I would do a video if obviously I'm in front of the camera doing a video. Okay. I am here today to do the end of year tag and to talk about 2025 reading plans, which I have, and I have my little notes, and I think I know where everything is, and I have names correct, and I have prompts ready, and I don't know, man. I feel almost like, knocking on that desk, almost like I have it together, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see how far we get before I start messing things up. Okay. So I was tagged by Randy Ray at Literate Texan to do the end of year book tag. This is an original tag created by Ariel Bissett. I think a lot of people have done this tag already this year, and it's been a fun one to watch. And it's kind of it's a nice tag to kind of think about your year and think about, kind of just, what's coming, and, I don't know, kind of get yourself together, I guess. The end of the year is always sort of chaotic, isn't it? I mean, I love the holidays. I absolutely just love the holidays. But I know that they are, work-wise, they're always chaotic, and if you're traveling, they can be very chaotic, and we are traveling, and, you just gotta breathe and hope for the best. So, yeah, anyway. All right, so before this goes off the rails, let me just go ahead and get started. The prompts. Question 1. Are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? All right, so of course, I've got to have some kind of backstory. I did this video on Thursday. I did this twice on Thursday. And on Thursday, the answer was yes. I still had books. Today, my answer is no. And here's why. I had some unread books on my shelves. I had books I hadn't finished yet, and I decided to clear my shelves, basically. I do have one book, and the only reason that I kept that book on is because I promised my husband that I would read it, and so it's still on there, and it's short stories, so I'm reading it in bits and pieces, and that is Arcanum Unbounded by Brandon Sanderson, which I am enjoying. I'm enjoying parts of it. There's some of it that I think I'm maybe not quite getting. I know a lot of these stories are set up for what is his Mistborn trilogy or Mistborn series. So I think that probably, even though I think there's some stuff in there that's kind of supposed to be a prequel, I think it's one of those prequels where it's not really a prequel. It's more like a prequel if you've already read it and you want more kind of thing, versus here, read this first and then you can read that. So there's a lot of stuff that it's not always totally clear. But this is the first Brandon Sanderson that I've read, and I am enjoying it. So, but everything else I just took off my shelf. Everything that I had left, I just took it off. I just said, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to have things hanging. I will get to these. I'll get back to them eventually. And it may be that I just come back to them in January and finish them. or it may be that I don't. And I just decided that with everything going on everywhere in the world, at work, at home, with family, I'm just not going to worry about it. Not going to worry about it. So, all right, question 2. Do you have an autumn book to transition into the end of the year? Well, let's see, we've got what, 6 more days until winter, technically, I guess. The 21st is the 21st, 20th, 21st. I never can remember. No, not really. If this was earlier, I know some people started doing this tag, like, I think back at the beginning of November, maybe this started to pop up. Boy, some people get to the end of the year. I skid into the final week, and I kind of, yeah, that's, end of the year's not here yet. But it's definitely gaining. It's definitely gaining. Anyway, I used to like to read something like, something with like that kind of autumn atmosphere, like reread The Secret History or big books. Like I used to try to read bigger books in the autumn, and because it just always felt sort of like back to school. But I don't do that, or I haven't been doing that lately. I'm just reading what I'm reading, and mostly just like whatever it is. If there's an event going on that I'm trying to follow, or I'm just, trying to find, this year, I'm just trying to find anything that will keep me involved and not drifting off, or feel too heavy or just like too much. So. Let's see, question number 3. Is there a new release you're still waiting for? No, there isn't. Not right now. The last thing that I was still waiting for was the new Attica Lock, Guide Me Home, and I shared that in a previous video. Haven't read that yet, haven't started that one yet, but that was the last book of the year that I was waiting for. Q4. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? Well, let's see. It's the 15th. And we're traveling. So it could be that I will read 3 books, because I do tend to read a book on the plane going and a book on the plane coming back. And then I probably won't read much while I'm there, while we're traveling, because we're going to the States for, the holiday. So, I probably will get to read 3 books, and I just started a new book today, and this is a fun one, I think. Greg at Supposedly Fun had talked about this book, and I had picked it up actually this summer, or maybe I picked it up last spring, but it's Lindsay Lynch, Do Tell, and it's about an actress who becomes a gossip columnist and gets kind of involved in a scandal, and it's set, I think, just right at the beginning of World War II. But I started this, and I'm really, I like her writing style, and I think it's going to be really enjoyable, not too heavy, kind of historical fiction. I'm looking forward to it. Greg had great things to say about it. I'll see if I can find his video and pop that in the description. And then I don't know. I don't have 3 books I have to read, but I'll read something. I did start a book called The Midcoast on my Kindle, and then I was thinking it might be, I was enjoying it, and then I thought, well, this might be good to read on the plane, so I might pick that one up on the plane, either going or coming back. And then I've got lots of stuff on my Kindle. So yeah, I'll be reading something because it's just easier than books. I've got a couple of books that I may try to pick up in the States, but I don't know if I'll reread. There'll be books that I'm going to reread, so I don't think I will be rereading those on the plane. I'll probably just have those in the suitcase. Anyway, whatever. Okay, let's see. Question number 5. Is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? Oh, I think anything is possible. Yes, of course. I mean, if I still have 3 books to read, then it's still up for grabs. That's why I never do my favorites list until January. I never do it until it's just the end of the year. I mean, unless I'm like, I know it's New Year's Eve. If I was doing this video and it was December 31 and I knew the book I was reading right now wasn't going to make it for me, then that would be the only time I would say no. So yeah, anything is possible. Question 6. Have you already started making reading plans for next year? And I have, and that is a nice segue into the rest of the video. But before I go into that, I will I'm going to tag Renee at the Left-Handed Reader. And I'm kind of cheating because she said she was thinking she might do this video, or she might do this tag, excuse me. And I'm gonna tag her, and I want to put the pressure on her. I'm gonna put the pressure on her to do it. I think so many people have done this. Oh, but you know what I'm gonna do too is I'm gonna put, I can't remember if he's done this, but I'm gonna tag him, and I'm also gonna give a shout out to Nick at Dr. Cranky Pants Reads. Nick's channel is pretty new. I think maybe he's just several months old, and he is fantastic. He has a PhD, I believe, in children's literature, and I'm doing this off the fly, so Nick, if I'm getting this wrong, I apologize, but he has the best vibe, and he knits. I'm not kidding. He knits. I did a post. I mean, I did a community post about him, and I did a little shout out, but I never really know who sees those. He talks about all kinds of books. He reads very broadly. He's just got a great personality. So chatty, so friendly. Talks about all kinds of stuff. Reads fiction, reads nonfiction, reads YA, reads middle grade, reads literature, reads classics, reads modern stuff, he reads all kinds of stuff. And the algorithm was kind and sent his channel my way, and I want to give a shout out to him. And then I don't think he's done this tag, and so I'm going to tag him. And I'm also going to encourage you all to go and pay him a visit because he's really fantastic. I think some of you did see that post and maybe went and visited him, but if you didn't, please go and check his channel out because he is fantastic and he deserves to have some attention. Would love to see his channel grow. Okay, so there I've tagged some others. So I'm going to go back to question number 6, which is, have you started making your reading plans? And like a fool, I absolutely have started making plans, which means probably they'll all get upended, but oh well, who cares? It's fine. If they do, it's okay. So what are my plans? All right, so the first thing is I was already thinking about this. I did something like this last year, and I'm going to do it again this year, which is a read your own books kind of thing. But I'm going to sort of go along with challenge, the Read Your Shelves Challenge 2025. That is being hosted by Jen at Jen's Reading Life. And Jen is in a similar boat. She's got a lot of unread books. She has a lot of unread books. I have a lot of unread books. And this is not a no buy challenge. This is not a super crazy restrictive challenge, but the idea is to read the majority of books in 2025 from your own shelves. And I have 2 plans there. The first one is I would like to read between 75 and 80% of the books that I read next year. I would like to be books that I already own. And I only read about 55, an average of 55 books a year, let's say. So yeah. mathing. I don't know. Let's just say 40. Let's say 40 books. from my shelves and 15 books from, for other things. That's my plan. And the second piece of that is that I can't buy a book unless I'm going to read the book. Like, or if it's a book that I've already read and I want to put, like, I want a physical copy. Like, if I read an ebook and I want to buy a physical copy of the book, that is okay. But I'm going to try to limit buying books to, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to read it, like, now or within a week. No buying books and sitting them on the shelf and letting them just sit there and like, oh, I bought that for this and I bought that for that. I'm going to try really hard to not do that. If it's like, it doesn't line up with the challenge that I'm doing, if it's not for a buddy read or an event, if I'm not going to read it right away, then I don't need to buy it. I just don't need to. It's out there. When the time comes, I can go get it. So that's the first plan. I'm really hoping that this will work. I have a lot of books. I'm also going to unhaul books. I have to go through all my books and take some of the books over to the English bookshop, and maybe get some credit there. And I think there is a Better World Books donation drop somewhere. There used to be one in the American Book Center, but I haven't seen it recently. It may be that they've moved it somewhere else in the store. So I need to go see if I can find it, or else it might be at one of the other stores. And there's also now a new English bookstore in Harlem that I'm hoping to go check out when we get back from the States. And I may take some books to Harlem and see if I can take some books there as well. But we'll just have to see. But I'm not good at parting with books. I'm really not. Because especially if it's something I haven't read, because I'll think, well, what if I really want to read it? It's like, do you really think you're going to read it if you haven't read it yet? Probably you're not going to. I mean, there's some stuff that I've started and I know I don't really want to go back to it. So I just need to bite the bullet and just clear off the shelves. So I will be doing that, and that will lower my numbers a bit. But most of my unread books are ebooks. So, I don't know. Maybe some of you are like, I can't with you and your ebooks. But being here, it's sometimes the easiest way for me to get a book. So, unless I really want to wait. Yeah, and I probably should. I probably will try this year to buy mostly physical books. So maybe that's another thing I have that's for this year. All right. The second thing, and this just came up, but it aligned with what I wanted to do also anyway, is I'm looking to make sure I'm not calling it the wrong thing, the 2025 Classics Project that Melinda at Web of Stories is hosting. I'm going to be following that. And that is a classic. It's 6 classics, so one every 2 months. I'm not going to be doing the first book only because it's Passing by Nella Larson, and I just read it at the beginning of 2023. But I am going to do the other 5 books, and I'm not going to tell you what they are. I'm going to link Melinda's video in the description below in case you're interested in joining the challenge and going along with that. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And she has some great picks, and she had some things that were already on my list as well. So I think that's going to be a good time. Then I am going to be doing some of the reading along with Angelia at Reads and Rereads and her Endless Drama project for 2025, which is reading plays, which I think will be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. I probably won't read all the plays, and the thing is, like, the plays I probably am going to have to buy like e-versions, or try to find maybe some of them. It may be that some of them I can find online somewhere. I'm not sure. Yeah. And that may be something that I look for when I'm in the States as well. Because I'll probably go to Half Price Books And then, I imagine I'll be back in the States again this year, and I'll look for more plays. I think that'll be really fun. So whatever I can find, I'll be joining in on. And then there are some I know for sure that I want to read. And so I'm linking Angelia's video below as well. So if you're interested in reading along throughout the year, she's got a bunch of plays selected. She's got her whole list up, ready to go, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. She's got a Discord set up and everything, so I think that's going to be great. Let's see what else. The other thing that I want to do in 2025 is read all of Jane Austen. I have only read Pride and Prejudice and Emma. I've read both of those several times but always for a class, always for school, high school, and then college, and then graduate school again. So I've read them several times, but I would like to read them just as a reader, and I would like to read all of her books. So I'm going to try to do that this year, and I think that will be a lot of fun. And if I don't get to it, it's okay. But I've got Emma, and I've got Pride and Prejudice, and I've got Persuasion, and hang on, I had a tiny book haul. I went to the English bookshop last week, and I got Mansfield Park. I got this Oxford World Classics version of Mansfield Park, which I was very excited to find. I love the Oxford World Classics. This is one of my favorite formats for reading this kind of stuff. So I'm excited about that. So I've got 4 already on my shelf. And then I also, this is to do with nothing, but I got another Carol Shields, one that I hadn't read yet, and one that Sonia, an enthusiastic reader, said was really, really pretty good. And she had good things to say about it. So wait a minute. You know what? No, this is the wrong book. This isn't the one she was talking about. This is actually one I already own and I've already read. Oh, no. This is not the one she was talking about. Sorry, Sonia. I'm a crazy person. I picked this up. I was so excited. I was like, this is the one. This is the one. I've read this book. But this is a much cooler version of the one I already own. Because the one I already own is kind of ugly. And this is the Penguin. This is the black spine, or kind of black spine, I guess, Penguin edition. And this is a good book. This is a story of a marriage, and it's told from 2 points of view. And in the version that I have, you read the woman's point of view first, and then you read the man's point of view next. And it's cool how they have it here, although you can kind of tell this is the back because the barcode is here. You could pick it up and read the husband's version first, and read the wife's version second, and see you have to flip it. Whereas in the version that I have, it's just traditional, where it's her version and his version. And it is like, it's upside down. Like it goes, you have to flip the book over to read the husband's version. That's kind of cool. This is a much nicer, copy. Anyway, okay then. I don't remember what the other Carol Shields one was that Sonia was telling me about. I wonder if it has her books in here, if it lists her other works. But these are my plans. These are my plans for the coming year, and we'll see how it goes. It may not, it may not go that well. I may go off the rails, or it may be great. I personally think it's probably going to be a pretty good reading year, if I get to everything. And I'm very excited about reading what's on my shelves. because I have a lot of good books. I really am, when I look through everything that I have, I'm like, why are you shopping? You got great selections already. You've just got so many good things that are just sitting here, and I'm not going to let the FOMO take over. No, not doing it. Not doing it. I'll definitely buy favorite authors, and I know that I'll read those right away. And then, like I said, if I'm not going to read it right away, then I don't need to buy it. All right. So I think that's it. I think that's everything. I have done the tag. I have tagged some people. I've told you about my plans. I would love to hear your plans for 2025. If you've got anything going on that's really interesting. If you haven't done the end of year book tag, even if I didn't tag you, consider yourself tagged, because it's a fun one, and you can kind of, it's a good setup to talk about what you're thinking about for 2025. And yeah, that's it. Anyway, I don't know if I will have a chance to do another video before we go. If I get a chance to, I definitely will. And so, yeah, I hope that your week goes well. And if I don't see you, I'll say happy holidays, but then I may pop back and say happy holidays. And, or I may see you in the new year. I don't know. But I hope that you're taking care of yourself. And thank you, as always, for being here. And I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.